Now, usually when I do videos for the Retro Bites playlist, it's either toys and games from my childhood or something I've bought off eBay. But this is the first time someone has ever sent me something for review. So last week, somebody messaged me on Facebook Messenger and said he would like to donate this to the channel. Now, because it was from their childhood, I messaged them saying, "Are you sure you want to donate it?" because I didn't want them to regret sending it. But he said it's fine because he has no use for it. So let's open the box and see what's inside. Even though you already know because it's on the thumbnail. So I think I've only played this once, and it would have been at one of my primary school's toy days. So basically at the end of each term, all the kids could bring in a toy, and one of my friends, I think, brought in this game, and I had a quick go. And that's the only time I ever remember playing it. So be very careful because I don't want to risk slicing through the actual thing itself. Oh, and there's a note. "Hi Rob, here's the game. Hope it's good for your collection. I needed to do one repair. It didn't power on, so I cleaned the connectors under the power switch, which were a little corroded, but it works now. Everything else looks perfect. If it fails to power on again at any point, I'd look there first. Best wishes, Reg." So thanks Reg for this, and as you saw from the thumbnail, we have a nice Grandstand Munchman. In the early 1980s, LCD and electronic games were extremely prevalent and were high on many a kid's Christmas wish list. None more so than Tomitronic's Pac-Man. Released in 1981 during the height of Pac-Man fever, the game proved very popular and sold over 700,000 units. It was released in the UK by Grandstand as Munchman and was essentially a rebadged version. You see, Tomi's Pac-Man had different branding in various regions. Pac-Man in Japan and Pac-Man in the United States. The game, of course, was based on Namco's Pac-Man arcade game and featured a vacuum fluorescent display, or VFD screen, which allowed for bright, multicoloured visuals but limited the size of the game area. Now, even though Grandstand had obtained a license to distribute the game, the name change was likely a marketing decision rather than a legal necessity. Renaming the game to Munchman may have been a way to differentiate their version from other Pac-Man adaptations while still keeping the look and feel of the original IP. And I'm sure most of you will already know that in Japan, the arcade game was originally called Pac-Man, but it was changed to Pac-Man internationally to avoid vandalism concerns, since Puck could easily be altered to. First thing you'll notice about Munchman is the shape of the unit with its sleek, almost space-age design. As you can see, there's only 4 buttons to control Munchman as opposed to a joystick. The red switches are for powering the unit on and off, and a difficulty select switch for either amateur or pro players. The VFD screen on Munchman has a fixed display, meaning all game elements like the maze, dots and the characters are pre-formed and cannot dynamically overlap. Since the Ghosts and Munchman are essentially separate illuminated segments, they can't physically occupy the same space. So unlike the arcade Pac-Man where the sprites move freely, Munchman's fixed display means movement is simulated by turning these segments on and off. Now this creates the illusion of motion, but objects can never physically overlap. They simply replace each other when moving into the same position. And this limitation is why the gameplay feels different. And just like some of the other electronic games from the early 80s such as Astro Wars and Firefox, Munchman takes 4 C-type batteries because these VFD displays use up a lot more power than LCD games. And just like the other electronic games, you also have the option of using a universal mains adapter. On the battery cover there is the instructions for the game in the smallest print possible. Even with my glasses on, I can't read that. And the battery cover doesn't need a screwdriver or a coin to get in it. You just pull it down like that and put your batteries in. So, just like in the original arcade game, the object is to gobble up all the dots, or in this case they're known as bait. The power pellets are stars for some reason, and there's only 2 of them. Also, because of the reasons I mentioned earlier regarding the on-screen objects being in a fixed place, there's only 18 dots to munch, and you can only eat the dots when you are moving from right to left. So you find yourself backing up over the dots in order to move forward again to eat them. And of course there's the ghosts. Running into these will cost you 1 of your 3 lives. And this wouldn't be a Pac-Man game without the cherries. Grab these for bonus points. So that was Tommy's Munchman, distributed in the UK of course by Grandstand. In fact it still has the Tommy stamp on the underside of the unit. As for the game, it's not the best VFD game I've ever played. Firefox F7 is far superior, but this is a quaint little piece from the 1980s and will look great on my shelf. So thanks once again to Reg for sending me this, and all that's left for me to say now is thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, bye.